you can hear my voice, you are very lucky. You're listening to KX 93.5, Laguna's only FM radio station. Laguna Beach, California, that is. I'm Jason Feddy, and I've got Mike Bennett here. Mike Bennett is a record producer. He's a writer of children's stories. He's a writer of all kinds of comedy and stuff on British film and TV for a long, long time. He's written for such greats as we're going to talk about Rick Mail in a minute, and Cheryl Baker, Ringo Starr, Matthew Kelly, all the greats, all the great. I mean, we're sort of laughing, but they are really the people that people of my generation grew up with. And Mike's also got a record label, a couple of record labels, right? Am I right?
I've got 12.
12?
I'm going through a modest patch.
12 record labels.
I've got 12, but it's 3 of 3, so they're all imprints of 1, if you see what I mean.
It doesn't make any sense. Is this a marketing thing? Is this manipulation?
It all comes down to Sony, BMG, Virgin, doesn't it, at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, it does, yeah. So, wait a minute, is this something like... So one label looks and feels a certain way.
That's right.
And then another label looks and feels another way.
It's called having different imprints, and the reason you do that is, like, say you're working with a bunch of blues artists.
Yeah.
You can compartmentalize the different genres, basically.
Get close to the mic, Mike.
Get closer to the mic. I'm sorry.
Yes,
okay.
you are a bloody
how's that?
Producer. You think
okay. I shall be more.
There you are, if you could. Robust.
Closer to the bloody mic.
There you go. I thought you'd have walked in and gone, SM57Bs. I'm very.
Oh no. That's an engineer's job. I just say do this, do that,
go
do
over
the
there,
other.
do
yes.
that. Yeah. So, what have you been up to, mate? Because you'd written this thing for Rick Mail, who's in that for an American audience. We did get the young ones here.
You got the young ones, and you got Drop Dead Fred as well.
That's right.
Which was a cult classic, which probably means not many people saw it, but it was a cult classic.
Right, but it was on MTV. What do you call it? It was on MTV, right? The young ones was on MTV. So a lot of people saw that. And Rick Mail was one of the protagonists.
Absolutely. I mean, he was a one-off. And when I did the children's books, the talking books, I discovered that he must have created a lot of the characters in the comic strip in the young ones because he did all the voices so brilliantly.
Yeah.
And a modest chap, and I had great fun talking with you about it. And it was only sort of 4 or 5 days after I left this wonderful station here that the great man passed on, so respect to him.
Very sad. Very sad. So you went back to England. You're involved with that. Let's just name a couple of the labels so that people know. One Little Indian.
Well, yes, that's correct. I have a label that goes through One Little Indian who house people like Bjork and have producers like Youth, people like that.
Yeah.
I do some crazy stuff with them. You know, it's like I've got a label with them called Tapeworm, which concentrates on kind of alternative rock, new wave, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like analog recordings, hence the name Tapeworm. Nice, tasteful word.
Lovely.
Nice, tasteful title.
Yeah, lovely, lovely.
I've got a brand new label now called Suburban Squire. That's the label that I am proud of right now. And Suburban Squire is an eclectic label. So the brief for Suburban Squire is very, very broad. We have crooning, we have rap. We're talking to a major rap artist here. I can't mention the name because it'll tempt fate. We're ready to squiggle on the dotted line on that one.
Yeah.
We do alternative rock, and it's a hotbed of creativity. We work with great graphic designers. We work with a great publicist called Louisa Garcia, and we have beautiful people featuring Jimi Hendrix, which I'm very excited about.
I want to talk to you about that. Now, I've got a track. What this is one of the earliest examples of a mashup, right?
I think so. This band, Beautiful People, the brainchild of Duke Kane, the guy from Bush, Robin, they came up with a concept which was to use Jimi Hendrix vocals. They got permission. To use Jimi Hendrix guitar, they got permission. And then they mashed it up so that you had like about 8 or 9 Jimi Hendrix tracks within one track. And then when they went on tour, they preceded the great Frank Sinatra concerts, the Elvis Presley concerts, when they showed Presley and Sinatra on screen a virtual version of the artist. They preceded that with having Hendrix up there, and they supported a band you may have heard of called Oasis. They went round the globe with Oasis, with Hendrix on the big screen, culminating in Carlos Santana using them as a support act. Selling 450,000 in 1994. They created it in 92, so they also preceded, if you listen to the stuff, the baggy movement. They created the entire baggy movement. Well, that's my claim, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, well, let's play. I'm going to play a track by them because it's really quite an interesting record, and the fact that they're sort of, you mentioned the baggy movement and the sort of Oasis and stuff. There's a real sort of Manchester sound to this.
And
actually.
that whole audio-visual thing that Presley and Sinatra did.
I'm trying to think of the other guy. Unforgettable. Nat King Cole.
Nat King Cole. They did a virtual Nat.
Right.
They did a virtual Elvis.
His daughter could sing along with the track.
That's right. Well, these guys created all of those things and more.
All right. Well, let's play a track. It's called this. The album is called If
you remember correctly, Jimi Hendrix had If Six Were Nine.
6 Were 9, yeah.
And these guys, being innovative, came up with If 60s were 90s.
If 60s were 90s, beautiful people. Track's called Stone Crazy.
Featuring Jimi Hendrix.
All right, on KX 93.5. Oh yeah, it's KX 93.5, and that is the sound of beautiful people. The album is called If 60s Were 90s. It's produced by my guest today, Mr. Michael Bennett. Hang on a minute, wait.
Actually,
oh no, it wasn't. It's on your label. Sorry.
It was produced by Duke Kane. He will kill me. He's listening
sorry.
in.
Oh, is he? Oh,
Otherwise,
dear.
I would have taken the credit.
Sorry.
Obviously,
so no,
because he's listening in.
You do too much. You do too much stuff, mate. You spread yourself too thin.
Eclecticism is the order of the day.
It is indeed. My wife loves that, don't you? My wife.
I loved it.
Yeah, Ava's here, and she says she loved it.
I think
loved it.
I think it's ace.
She was bopping around the studio to that. It is. It's really cool. It's got that Manchester sound, from the 90s, of course.
And may I say, prior to how it all happened?
Go on.
Well, this preceded the baggy. That's what they created it in '92.
Yeah.
I think baggy crept in was it '95?
I've no idea.
Soup Dragons.
Can't remember. I was very, very high at the time.
Oh dear.
No
so
idea.
Was I, but don't tell anyone. They'll all want one.
I have no idea anymore. Tell us what you're doing now. You are producing though,
I am.
and you produced this band Alberteen.
Oh, I have. I love Alberteen. They're a smashing band. They come from all kinds of directions. One is the artistic director of a noted theatre in London.
You're kidding me.
One of them is a professor.
Yeah.
One of them, I think, it's got something to do with envelopes, but actually they're basically fantastic musicians.
Something to do with envelopes.
I'm not sure. Pushing the envelopes. They push envelopes.
Really?
Creative envelopes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
They push creative
I
envelopes.
pull the envelope, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
What, to get your paycheck out every Thursday afternoon?
I'll do my best.
Okay. Oh, thanks very much for the free T-shirt, Ray
Oh,
Weston.
come on.
Ray Weston bought me a Jimi Hendrix T-shirt.
He doesn't know he's paid for it yet,
with
though,
the
does he?
logo of this wonderful station written on it. So
Yeah.
I'll take that back and spread the word. Going back to Alberteen, they came to me about 4 years ago, and I did their first album called Metal Book,
Yeah.
which has been critically acclaimed. It's a wonderful thing to be critically acclaimed.
Does that mean it hasn't sold any copies?
I'm not
It's
sure.
like being a
'cause
cult
I tell you
following or
what,
something.
I haven't had my statement yet. I'll let you know about that. But I've been lucky enough to have been asked to do their second album, which is why I'm a bit late on my arrival here in the US. And the first album was critically acclaimed, was on Radio 6, pushed by a guy called Tom Robinson, who is
Not Tom Robinson. Sing If You're Glad to Be Gay.
that's him.
Really? Oh,
He
cool.
is
We like him a lot.
he pushes a lot of new bands for Radio 6.
Ah.
I think Gideon Colis,
I heard this.
Kershaw, all these people.
I think I knew
picked
this.
up
I think
on
he's
it.
got a show, hasn't he, Tom? On
He
the
has.
radio.
It's a very good show.
Yeah.
And he does the introducing scheme, which actually sort of like, you know, he takes people from the bottom of the musical food chain as opposed to the top of the musical food chain, and he mixes them all up. He's great.
All right, well, listen, let's play this track by Alberteen from that album, the album that you produced, Metal Book, the first one.
Yeah, very, very, very film noir. Very film noir.
When did this album come out? 2012.
I think so.
Yeah, 2012 it says here. Produced by my guest Mike Bennett. Track called A Girl and a Gun on KX 93.5.
All you need to make a movie is a girl and a gun. Come along and join the party while we stare at the sun. The light has gone my eyes, and when the love was died, all you need to start a party is a girl and a gun. Midnight sun. Midnight sun.
That is the sound of Alberteen on KX93.5. That's a band that's being produced right now by my friend Mike Bennett, who's here in the studio with me as we speak. Crikey, that was a lot of buttons. I pressed a lot of buttons there. Did you see that?
I did, but button pressing is what it's all about.
I'm hoping that eventually it will become just like I won't have to look at my hands. You know what I mean? Like driving a car. Like what engineers do. They just fly around the board like it just comes naturally to them.
Absolutely.
Because they hear what they want to do and their hands go and do it. Like a piano player. Like a musical instrument.
As long as they've got a conduit.
A
muse.
Right. Well, you are my muse.
I am not a muse.
You are my muse right now. You are.
I am, actually.
Can I just do something that I have to do?
Oh, go on.
Let me do this. I'm going to just do this really quickly. Here, listen.
KXRNLP, Laguna Niguel, Laguna Beach, KX 93.5.
Right, that's it. I had to do that because it's the top of the hour. And you have to do it. I just thought I'd just do it, throw it in there. It's not very professional, is it?
It's absolutely fine. I'm from England.
Yeah, you don't. All right. So that's really cool. Alberteen is a very cool... That sounds really great. And when that new record comes out, I hope you will send it to us.
I like the whooshing sound at the end. That was me going...
Is it really?
And then we sampled a crow
from
the back garden of Farheath Studios. And then I tracked the crow, and then I put him in backwards. And it was a he, I can assure you. I put him in backwards, and then I put him in forwards. Then I put a flange, and I put him through the melodyne. And then last but not least, I put him through the eventide from 1983.
You're kidding me. You've had an eventide there?
That crow has been melodined, eventided up. Yeah, I even tied it up after myself.
Eventide does sound like something you would wash your clothes with, doesn't it?
And then I did one of these.
Yeah.
And then on the form, when it says which musical instruments did you play, I put keyboard because I've triggered it on a keyboard.
Yeah.
So I'll get paid extra PPL.
Right, that's the money you get for playing on a record.
And I'm claiming the crows as well.
Right.
Because I put him on the keyboard.
Well, you should get 20% of the crow's money.
The crow was a really nice guy because he signed off on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're the manager of the crow.
Absolutely.
And it was a male crow that you were specifically
It was definitely a male crow.
Right.
Because he told me, and crows never lie.
Yeah. So you do all that stuff in the studio. You're not just bringing in samples from anywhere.
What I do,
CDs and whatnot.
in all seriousness, is like I don't do generic. I don't use those awful CDs that have got sound effects on them or a James Brown loop.
Right. No.
If I use a loop, I'll generate it from the drummer. I have a feedback workshop with the guitar player. I'll say, give me some harmonics. Stand in front of it, upside down, on your head, whatever. If I'm in a pub, and I am occasionally, just very occasionally in a pub, there might be like an ambience, there might be a fruit machine nearby. It's got an interesting sound. Then, technically, I'm using something generic because I've got out my dictaphone. Yeah. My dictaphone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, people should have a dictaphone, shouldn't they?
Yeah. And I'm sampling the dictaphone, from the dictaphone to the fruit machine, with the crowd in the background. Or if a couple of old biddies...
Do you credit the pub?
No, I don't actually. On this occasion, I don't, because they're taking my money anyway. If I'm at the if I'm at the bus stop, there's two old ladies cackling away, having an argument. Can't resist it. Out comes me dictaphone.
Wow, yeah. Right. And you've never been caught?
I've never been caught getting me dictaphone out.
No. Yeah? Okay.
You know?
Good.
And I sample the old ladies having their row. Then I listen to them backwards, I listen to them forwards. 99.9% of my naughty samples when I get my dictaphone out, 95% of those things get scotched.
Well, let's go to another one of your production jobs. This is an important thing for musical history, and there's a lot of things going on in this, actually, in this next record. Sham 69...
Oh, yes,
versus,
them.
Yeah, well, we play them a lot on the station.
Yes.
So we play Oreo Parry, which I think is an anthem.
It's a great song.
It's an anthem it's like an answer to any sort of spiritual... This man is he's so happy because he's had an epiphany. He's figured out the meaning of life.
Don't get me on epiphanies.
He's figured out the meaning of life. He's had a complete spiritual awakening, and he's figured out the meaning of life, which is to go to the pub. Which I think is a wonderful idea.
Well, I think it is. He's epiphanized.
He definitely did on that record.
He got epiphanized.
So there's Sham 69, who we love very much. And also on this record, Anita Harris.
Well, you know what?
That's a juxtaposition right there, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of wanted the Cramps featuring Barbara Windsor,
Right, American audience won't understand that.
I tried to make
It'd
that
be like,
happen.
what's a Betty Crocker with Green Day or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a kind of... we're on the theme of mashups. It is a
Right.
mashup in a way.
It kind of is.
You've got somebody from the Carry On side of things, but also, don't forget, a CBS multi-platinum artist.
Yeah.
And then you've got somebody from the new wave era, the punk era.
Yeah.
And what you do is you know, I am merely the glue. I am the glue that binds it
them all
together.
together.
And you've heard that before, haven't you?
I have. No, it's all right. I understand.
But I am the
It's
glue
not a
that
cliche.
binds it together. And then at the end of it, I got this bit of like fairy dust, and I sprinkle it on the top. And I just keep my finger, only with one hand, behind my back. I've got my fingers crossed.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, no.
But what there was an abundance of talent in the room, and I was just the glue.
Members of Sham 69, Anita Harris, who's worth Googling if you're American. If you're English, you know exactly who we're talking about. Doing a song by Polystyrene.
That's right.
From X-Ray Specs.
There's the third party.
Right.
Polystyrene, everything she wrote meant something. It might have been from a surrealist perspective. It might have been an observational thing. Warrior in Woolworth.
She was a much misunderstood. She was
very
very
much.
interesting. Her father was a Somali refugee, been in government.
That's
you know
right.
that?
That's
And her
right.
mother was like, it was something else, another very interesting thing. Person.
Absolutely. And she came from, I believe, Stockwell. And she was the very, very first woman that opened up the doors for individualism as we know it with female artists, from Nina Cherry to Björk, Björk.
She was one of the
She's
first.
Björk now,
Yeah,
isn't she?
yeah.
You know,
That's what they used to call me in school.
Yeah.
You're right, Björk.
Syoxy and the Banshees, Susie and the Banshees.
Yeah,
Kate
all of
Bush.
those,
She
yeah.
opened up
Yeah.
these doors, but the thing is, the people that open up these doors are usually left standing at the door.
Right. Well, you know.
But you know, retrospectively, she's making a big noise. Germ-free Adolescence, a song about OCD, not about OC Orange County, about OCD.
yeah.
Orange County
Disorder.
Yeah, Orange County Disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a song about Orange County Disorder. I'm getting a lyric in my head. She wrote these wonderful observational songs, which were slightly tainted with a dark observational skills.
Well, we do play Bondage Up Yours, and we play.
I mean, Oh Bondage Up Yours was a great response to the stereotypical male punk wearing the bondage gear,
Right.
which he bought from that shop that everybody bought them from
On the King's
High
Road.
Street. I mean, because what she was saying was punk was about individualism, but they all bloody well look the same, and it gets on my tits.
Right. Well, she was quite an amazing performer. Very feminine as well as being a
Oh,
punky
she was
sort of-
wonderful. She whacked me round the head with a handbag when I was 17. Pogoing was a dance. Very simple.
jumping up and down.
Yeah, it was so that they could spit further backstage. That
Really?
was the whole
That's
point of
the
it.
evolution.
Yeah,
It's
the
an
evolution was
thing.
I can spit further than
The
you.
one that could jump the
Yeah.
highest could spit.
So
the
I
highest.
was pogoing, so she
Right.
probably thought I was spitting.
All right, so here
and
we
I,
go.
I
Let's
got
remember,
whacked
we're getting
around the
carried
head with a
away.
handbag.
We're getting carried away, and we haven't got time.
But it had cotton wool in it.
Sham 69, Anita Harris, and doing a song by Polystyrene, and they're raising money for cancer research.
Teenage Cancer Trust is the issue here.
Right, because Polly obviously she died.
She died of
cancer very
she
young.
did, and
53
she was wonderful.
Yeah.
God rest her soul.
Thanks for coming in. I'm kicking you out now.
Wait a minute, hold on.
What?
I just want to say,
Yeah.
once again to Ray Weston,
Yes,
thank you for
drummer
the
from
T-shirt
Wishbone.
with Jimi Hendrix on, and thank you very much for playing Beautiful People featuring Jimi Hendrix.
Right, Mike Bennett has been in here. This is I Live Off You, Sham 69, and Anita Harris doing a Polystyrene song in aid of teenage cancer research.
From the album Germ-Free Adolescence.
Couldn't be better.